Hi, Alberta, and with us we have this amazingly smart, talented woman from the Alberta party, from the constituency of Lac Ste. Anne-Parkland. That the lady is already the mayor of a town in that constituency, and she's the mayor for Mayerthorpe, which is a small town there. So she definitely knows what she's doing. She knows her thing. She knows your thing. That's the best thing because that's what you really need to know, that she knows your business. She needs to have solutions to your problems. Hers, I'm sure she definitely has. She's smart. So come on, Janet. Let's start with the ABC of the talk. Tell us something about yourself, a little about your thoughts, a little about your vision, a little about your family, and who you are.
Oh, perfect. I love that. So let's start with a little bit about who I am, because that's probably the thing I know the best. I am the mayor of my little town, which is Mayerthorpe, Alberta. I've lived here for just over 16 years, and I'm a rural Alberta girl at heart. I came to Alberta when I was 5 years old, and the minute I could get into rural Alberta, that's where I moved because I don't like the big cities. So I'm a small town girl at heart. So been in Mayerthorpe for about 16 years, and I live here with my husband of almost, believe it or not, 43 years. Been married almost 43 years. Two of my adult children, two of my adult children live here in Mayerthorpe with 4 of 8 grandchildren. And I
Wow.
also have one great grandson. He lives with his mom in Edmonton.
Oh,
So, yeah, my family keeps me busy too, never mind the mayoral duties and now tackling this provincial campaign
bless
thing.
you. Bless you.
It's going to be a busy spring for this girl. So in my spare time, that's funny. In my spare time, I do enjoy reading. I like to cook and bake. And in the summertime, on the days when the weather permits, you'll find me on my motorcycle because it's one of the top 3 favorite things in my life is riding
I've
on
been
my.
a biker. I've been a biker too. I
Oh,
ride
yay!
the women power. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? The number of female riders over the last few years has increased exponentially, and I absolutely love it. I'm connecting with more of them all the time, and it's terrific to see. Um, and then you know what? In the wintertime, when I can't be on my motorcycle, I like to be in front of my big TV watching. Okay, my guilty pleasure. Never mind, it's not guilty. I own this. I am an unabashed superheroes movie fan, and I love the Avengers.
Love the spirit. Love the spirit, lady. Oh, sorry, girl. Love the spirit, girl.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, now what else? What else can I tell you about me? So, as the mayor of Mayerthorpe, I have been an economic development hawk since I became the mayor. It's kind of my battle cry. I firmly believe that without diversified economic development, rural Alberta will die, and
Wow.
it's not going to be a slow death. It'll happen quickly. Um, so that's kind of one of my things is rural economic development. I think it's critical to the survival of our rural communities and to the survival of the province. Um, I I I chair the RETA in my area, and the RETA stands for Regional Economic Development Alliance. So I chair the RETA in my area, which is, again, more economic development stuff. I sit on the Alberta Municipalities Economic Strategies Committee, more
Mhm.
economic development stuff. And I also, through Alberta Municipalities, was appointed to the Safety Codes Council of Alberta Board of Directors. So I still hold that position as well. So I've got all kinds of things going on.
But you've got a
Oh,
5-page resume or something?
pardon me?
You've got a 5-page resume or something?
Yeah, no, no, not at all. I've gotten pretty good at encapsulating it. My work background has largely been in management. I started my management stuff, good grief, more years ago than I care to think about. In fast food restaurant management, I've been a retail manager. I ran my own real estate office here in Mayerthorpe for a number of years. And then I decided I didn't really need to be a manager. So I got into health and safety and became a health and safety advisor. Little did I know that there's a lot of management involved in that as well. So I guess this is just kind of what I'm supposed to do is manage things.
So
So,
in this entire management of everything possibly around you that you can manage, how did you manage to get to the Alberta party?
well,
Or they managed to get to you?
that in and of itself is a bit of an amusing story. An old friend of mine contacted me a number of months ago. I think it was even before Christmas last year, and talked to me about the UCP party because he's a lifelong conservative. So he talked to me about the UCP party and encouraged me to run to
Oh,
challenge the incumbent here in Lac Ste. Anne-Parkland for the UCP nomination.
but isn't that, oh, yeah, obviously, Mr. Shane
Yeah,
Gatz. Yeah.
yeah, Shane Getson. Yeah, exactly. And I actually thought about it because realistically, I live in the heart of blue bleeding rural Alberta. Like they don't bleed any bluer than they do in this area.
Yeah.
Um, to give you an example, the Yellowstone Freedom Field is
Mm-hmm.
in Lac Ste. Anne-Parkland.
Oh,
Okay. Um, and all that is an installation right along the highway that's got flags up and signs that say freedom and, all of
hmm.
those things. So, anyways, this old friend of mine contacted me before Christmas last year and encouraged me to seek the UCP nomination in Lac Ste. Anne-Parkland. And I did think about it for a while because I thought, you know what? That's probably the surest way to
Mm-hmm.
a seat in the legislature. And maybe my more center aligned voice, because I'm loud and
You make
I,
sense.
I speak my mind and I don't intimidate very easily.
You
So,
don't?
yeah.
Not
Um,
even a teeny weeny bit?
yeah, I know, hard to believe, right? So I thought if I could get in there and use my more center aligned voice to maybe moderate some of the conversations a little bit, modulate them. I don't know what you want to call it. That might be a good thing.
Make sense of all the chaos?
Yeah, and I honestly, the more I thought about it, the less sense it made. I am a square peg, and I was trying to fit myself into a round hole, and I couldn't make it make sense. So I called my friend back and I said, as much as I appreciate you thinking of me, and I appreciate the fact that you're confident that I could actually take a run at this and accomplish something. I really appreciate that. So thank you very much for that. But I can't, it's not a place I can go. I can't go there. So after I hung up from that phone call, I reached out to Barry Morishita, who is an old friend. I know him from the Alberta Municipalities Board of Directors. That's how I met Barry in my municipal role. So I called Barry and I said, Barry, how do I get involved with the Alberta Party Constituency Association in Lac Ste. Anne-Parkland? And he said, Janet, I don't think there is one. I said, okay, who do I need to talk to about starting one? And so he put me in touch with a guy through email. And I was emailing with this guy, and his first email to me came back something about being excited to have someone willing to start the Lac Ste. Anne-Parkland Constituency Association again. Then the second sentence said, now all we need is a viable candidate. And in brackets, it said, wink, wink. Wink, winking me is like throwing down. Like it's like a dare, right? And so I read that and I went, oh, geez.
There it
And
is.
and the rest, as they say, is history. Here I am today doing what I'm doing. What I want to accomplish as a candidate for the Alberta Party is to provide the very lonely, disenfranchised group of people in the middle with an option instead of, well, we have to vote NDP because we don't want the UCP guy being our MLA, or we have to vote for the UCP because God forbid the NDP should be in power again. So people these days talk about voting against the other guy
Yeah.
instead of,
There's a lot of votes split and all these things happening, and they usually
yeah,
say the word anti-incumbency there. Use it
yeah,
quite regularly.
yeah, exactly. So my hope is that in me and the Alberta Party, people in Lac Ste. Anne-Parkland will see something to vote for instead of voting against
So
something.
you mean in you they see the word called hope?
Yes. Yeah. Hope. Exactly. Hope that there is a better way to do things.
Definitely. You have said it so, you've almost said everything that I could have asked you. And, I think I was reading your mail in which you had written in your signatures, MLA in waiting.
Yes. Oh no, you've seen it. Yes. That
I,
is I
I
put
think
that.
signatures talk a lot about people, and I love to see them. And your signatures are like, she's there. She's already put it out there to the universe that here I come. And now with that story of the wink wink coming in, and then the signatures, if you look at the story, it's and the word hope coming in,
For
you
sure.
you go places, girl. It sounds so nice. And all the questions I thought, that they were in my mind about this. Being the mayor, I don't think you need to look for solutions. I think they're right there with you. You've already worked them out. And one thing which I would want to know from you is that there are generally visions that people have of changing things. What is one thing you want to change in the present uh, provincial system? Because you will be sitting there in the legislature as a provincial representative of the people. So the changes that are made in that legislature hall are of the provincial nature.
Yeah.
Right now, we're talking about about a town, and a constituency. So, what do you think there need to be changes with you as the change agent need to be made into that place?
Thank you. I love that. I actually love that question. What I see needs to be changed in Alberta is very small. In a very small space of time, we have become, by and large, a two-party system, and a two-party system is not good for democracy. It just is not. I think there's room for middle ground, and that's the place I see the Alberta Party occupying, is that very fertile middle ground. You don't have to be way over on the right or way over on the left. There is a place to meet in the middle, and I think the best way we can do that in Alberta right now, and I've had this conversation with a number of people. I think the best way forward for Alberta right now is with a minority government. It would be the first minority government in Alberta's history, and honestly think that's the best hope for Alberta for an outcome for this next provincial election, is a minority government, because that dynamic forces parties to work across the aisle, to work together to accomplish things. And I absolutely think that's got to be what happens. And if I can accomplish one thing in the legislature, it's going to be to change the political discourse, because honestly, I cannot stand the vitriol that's out there right now, the name calling and the party bashing and all of the other stuff. That I can't stand it. Like, it's just, you don't accomplish anything when you can't have meaningful, respectful discourse with people with
Yeah,
whom you disagree. You got to be able to disagree and still have a conversation. You have.
definitely. I think this is very important, and this has talking to different people. This is one thing that has come across with from a lot of people, that the kind of communication and the kind of name calling that has been happening in the legislature of late is putting a lot of people off.
Yeah.
And they want people, because this province is known for the pleasantries. They've known for people working for the province.
Yeah.
And I think the thought that comes in there, that it all has to be together. People from across the aisle need to come together on a single page, and that when you come to the middle, you are actually for the province. Extremes both sides is difficult. So I was speaking to Jenny yesterday. She's a candidate from your party, in fact, for Calgary Northwest. She's exactly,
Yes.
I think the J's both feel the same thing. You're also J, and she's also the just letter J. She was also talking about the same thing, about the minority government right now is the right way for Alberta.
Yeah.
And that actually got me thinking, and I have been talking about this to a lot of people, because I am completely a non-partisan person. And for me, for us, this initiative, Janet, is it's a non-profit foundation, Maverick Me Foundation. So our initiative is only to increase the magnitude of the voices, and the voices which actually matter, and and because the noise is too much. There
Yeah.
is too much of noise. So thank you so much. Is there a special message that you would want to give out? Anything special for the people out there?
Um, I attended the Alberta Municipalities Municipal Leaders Caucus last week, and their tagline, because they do an election strategy whenever there's an election, whether it's provincial or local or federal. They do an election strategy that they share
Mhm.
with the members. And their election strategy this year is think provincial, vote local.
Wow.
So think about what you want the future of this province to look like.
Yeah.
And at while you're doing that, vote for the candidate locally that speaks to your sensibilities about what you want to see in your
Yeah.
constituency and what you want to see on the broader in the broader picture provincially. So
So
vote
micro to macro, macro to micro, the combination.
exactly. Look
Yeah.
at the macro that you want the province to be, but
Yeah.
vote on the micro because that's what's going to have the most impact on you. The
Yeah.
Alberta Party has got a three-word tagline.
Province.
Province, prosperity,
Multi-
people.
people.
Yeah, those three words. And for me, it's about the people. I think I'm going to adopt the tagline on my print collateral, and it's three words: people over politics, man.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All the very best, Janet. We are going to be meeting in person very soon. Hopefully, by whenever you give me some time, somewhere around the 15th of April, I'll be driving down to that side, but in a car.
Well, yeah, it's a little early for the bikes yet, but yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea. I would love to connect with you in person. I've got two candidate forums coming up already. I've got them on my agenda already. So those are going to be fun. It'll be interesting to see what the other guys bring to the table. I may just have to stand back in a corner and let them two duke it out, you know. I'll just stand back, maybe referee once in a while if I need to, that kind of a thing. So we'll
and
see how it
and you
goes.
become the real superhero. You got the muscle, lady. You got it all.
Absolutely.
All the best. Thank you so much. Lovely. It's absolutely lovely talking to you. This was actually a bliss. And I didn't even know we've already spoken for 18 and a half minutes.
See, look at how that goes. That's great. It's wonderful when you're talking to somebody that you can have again a respectful, open dialogue with. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time
so
today.
much, Janet.
I
Thank
do
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless you. All the best. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.